It was nice while it lasted. Cheap gas. AAA tells us the average family is expected to spend $200 more for gas this summer than last year. Why? We sent ABC 7's Taylor Torregano to find out.
That price is my price.
$2.79 a gallon. Good news for customers of the Shell gas station near the airport. The price of regular unleaded gas dropped today.
I like to give the less price to the customers, of course.
That's right. Contrary to what you may believe, the man who runs this gas station says he wants to give you a discount. But these independent stations are struggling with gas prices just as much as you and I.
Of course it is hard. This gas price is too high. For example, today I got the gas with the $2.50, for example, $2.50, and the price is going down 20 cents. How can I go down? I have to wait to finish that load,
If he doesn't, James Peter says he'll be paying out of pocket to sell the load of gas cheaper than he just bought it.
I look at every day the price. What's the price today? Oh, if it's less, I'm so happy. Thank God. I reduce the price right away,
He hasn't been able to do that as much recently, as the national average pushes closer to $3 a gallon.
Crude oil is going up to probably $90 a barrel by the end of the year, and that's a major reason. Now, the U.S. domestic, we have actually a lot of oil, but we actually are using a lot of that oil to supply the rest of the world as well.
Supply and demand. But why now?
It's a little bit harder to say. What it's doing now is probably more tracking what's happening with the economy in general. And what's happening in the economy in general is we've had stagnant wages, we've had prices going up, generally speaking, we've had inflation.
Not to mention conflict with other countries. Gas prices start to increase days after President Trump announces the U.S. is backing out of the Iran nuclear deal. Coincidence?
I think there are always geopolitical ramifications on gas. I mean, gas spiked in theory because we backed out of the Iran deal, and the 500,000 barrels of gas that they were putting into the economy were no longer going to be part of the cycle for gas. But I just have to think that there are other reasons.
Reasons or conspiracies, Zivik says he hasn't quite figured out. Of the 10.1 million barrels of petroleum the U.S. imported daily in 2017, 6% came from Iraq.
Focusing on that one little piece.
But economics professor Michael Snipes says if there's any policy affecting gas prices, it's the trade war with China.
That's really kind of introduced a lot of uncertainty into the economy, and the economy doesn't like uncertainty, doesn't know what to do with it. And so since gas prices and oil prices are one of those staple goods for the economy, any uncertainty that gets introduced, regardless of where it's from, is going to show up in those commodity prices.
An uncertainty that seems to contradict the economy's progress, making headlines.
Because the economy, at least at a macro perspective, is doing really well. Unemployment's really low, the stock market's doing well, GDP is growing. So those big macro variables, those are all growing, and that's all fine. But when you kind of get into the details, that's where a lot of the uncertainty in setting prices is showing up, is in those finer details.
Details we watch materialize on these boards as the numbers continue to rise.
It really gets to me. It'll go up like 15, 20 cents a gallon overnight and then gradually work its way back down.
Tough for those who remember the times when breaking $2 for a gallon was unheard of.
When I was in college, when gas was like 32 cents a gallon, I no longer would drive a car. I would take my bicycle out and I would use my bike, because that was just my boycott.
But today, none of the experts anticipate travelers boycott these rising prices, and they seem to be right.
Nope, I keep on driving.
That's what they do. So.
In fact, to a Sarasota visitor from Pennsylvania, the state with the highest gas taxes in the country, the prices here are a walk in the park.
What's up to all of you? I noticed them right away. They're way cheaper than they are at home. Way cheaper, probably about 40 cents a gallon.